Hello everyone! In this video, we'll go over the Vocabulary Workshop Level Orange Unit 1 words. You can follow along at home using your book. Let's get started! Our first word is celebrity. Celebrity is a noun, and a celebrity is a well-known person. Someone who is famous or fame. Basically, a celebrity is like a movie star, a singer, an athlete, or even a YouTuber, someone who everybody knows and is famous. The sample sentence says, her paintings made her a celebrity in the art world. So there's a person who made some paintings, and the paintings were so well known in the art world, it means by people who like art, so she became a celebrity. Maybe you've seen pictures of celebrities like this walking down a red carpet and getting their photos taken. Who is your favorite celebrity? A synonym of celebrity is star, and antonyms are an unknown, nobody, or anonymity. Our next word is counsel. Counsel is a noun, and it can also be used as a verb. But for the noun, it means opinions or ideas given for a plan of action. Basically, it's when someone gives you ideas so that you can decide what you need to do. It can be a talk that leads to a decision. So this is the same thing. You're getting ideas or you're talking about something that you need to do, and then you decide what you want to do. Or counsel can also be a person. It is a lawyer, someone who helps you when you are in trouble with the law. The example sentence says, the head of the law firm is serving as the lead counsel for this trial. So in this sentence, there is a person who works for a law firm. That's where a lawyer will work. And that person is the lead counsel. They are the main lawyer in the trial. So remember, a lawyer is someone who defends or helps a person who may or may not have broken the law. And the other definitions of counsel are opinions or ideas given. So we can also use this word to talk about when someone is giving counsel. For example, I can say, the teacher gave him counsel about how to solve the problem. Maybe this student has a problem, so he asked the teacher for help about what to do. So we can say she gave him or she is giving him counsel. She's giving him ideas so he can make a plan. Or another way I can use this word, I can say, they had a counsel before the meeting to discuss their plans. So these two people are going to a meeting, but before the meeting they have a counsel. They have a talk so they can decide what to do in their meeting. So that is the word counsel used as a noun. And we can also use counsel as a verb, which is just giving advice or an opinion. So now it's the action. You are offering help to someone. For example, after we lost a very close game, our coach tried to counsel us on how to accept defeat. So in this sentence now, there is a team that lost the game and their coach is counseling them. He's giving advice, he's giving his opinion about how to accept, how to be okay after you lose. So we are just using that same word as an action now. For counsel as a noun, the synonyms are advice, wisdom, or guidance, and there are no antonyms for this word. When it's used as a verb, it can be help, advice, recommend, and there's also no synonyms for this word. Has anyone ever counseled you when you've had a problem or when you needed to decide what to do? Our next word is demonstrate. Demonstrate is a verb, and it means to clearly explain, show, or prove something with examples, models, or experiments. It also means to gather in public to support an opinion or a cause. So let's look at the example sentence first. To become a band member, you must demonstrate some musical skill. So in this sentence, there's someone who wants to join a band, and to join that band, they have to demonstrate. So they have to show that they have musical skill. Maybe they have to show that they can sing or that they know how to play a guitar. So that is what we would call demonstrate. They have to demonstrate that skill. Over here too, we can use it as to explain an experiment too. We can say the teacher demonstrated the science experiment for the class. So there's a teacher that's showing his class how to do the experiment. So we can use that word demonstrate instead of just saying to show. I can also say the teacher demonstrated how to solve the math problem. So here this teacher is showing the students how they can do it. He is demonstrating. Some synonyms for this word are model, illustrate, and reveal. And the antonym is hide. And the second definition of demonstrate, to gather in public to support an opinion or a cause, would be something like this, similar to a protest. We can say that there was a demonstration to show support for protecting the environment. Maybe these people believe that protecting the earth is very important for the future, so they all came together, they gathered together to show their opinion to the government and to people who make the laws about protecting the earth. So we can also say they are demonstrating their opinion. Or we could call it a demonstration. Our next word is drowsy. Drowsy is an adjective and it means ready to fall asleep or sleepy. The example says, after eating that big dinner, I felt too drowsy to read. So when you have a big dinner, maybe it makes you feel sleepy. So in this sentence, the person is too drowsy or too sleepy to read. Another example I could say is, I felt drowsy during the long car ride. Have you ever felt sleepy while you're in a car for a long time? You can use this word drowsy to explain that you are a little bit sleepy but not sleeping yet. Another example could be, the medicine made her feel drowsy, so she took a nap. Have you ever taken any medicine that made you feel a little bit sleepy? You can use this word drowsy to explain how you're feeling. Some synonyms are tired and sluggish. Antonyms are alert and wakeful. Our next word is essential. Essential is an adjective and it means of the highest importance or necessary. So something essential is super important. You can't do without this thing for whatever you are doing. For example, food, water, and shelter are essential to survival. If you don't have food, water, or somewhere safe that you can stay, like a shelter, then it's difficult to survive or to stay alive. So I can say these three things are essential for people. Another example would be, water is essential for all living things. So not just people, but also plants. If we don't have water, then plants and trees and people can die. So it is essential. How about when you are riding a bike? So when you're riding a bike, the essential thing is a helmet. So I can say it's essential to wear a helmet when riding a bike. That way if you fall, you don't get hurt. And good sleep is essential for doing well in school. If you don't sleep well, then you might also have a difficult time staying awake in school. You might feel too drowsy and fall asleep. So getting good sleep is essential. Some synonyms are vital, key, and basic. Antonyms are unimportant, minor, and unnecessary. We can also use essential as a noun, and usually when we use it as a noun, we add an S to the end of it. So this time it means something necessary or very important. The meaning is the same, but we're talking about the actual thing. So now the thing is called an essential. We're not using this word to describe something. For example, when you pack for a long trip, start with the essentials. So now essentials are important things. So let's say that you are going on a camping trip. What are the essentials you would need if you go on a camping trip? You definitely need to bring a tent and a sleeping bag, maybe a chair for sitting, and things for cooking your food and something to make light. So we would call these things essentials. They are very important. They're very necessary for whatever you are doing. Another example would be food and water are everyday essentials. They are things that we need every day. How about if you're going to go take a test? What are the essentials that you need? So I can say before a test, pencils and erasers are essentials. These are the things that you need for whatever activity you are doing. Some synonyms are, again, vital, key, and basic. And antonyms are unimportant, minor, and unnecessary. By the way, I added an S here because when we're talking about essentials, it's usually more than one thing that we're talking about, like in all of these examples. But if you're just talking about one thing, you don't have to put an S. You can just say something is an essential. Our next word is hardship. Hardship is a noun and it is something that causes suffering or difficulty, a condition that is hard to bear. So hardship is something really difficult and uncomfortable for people. The example says, the pioneers had to live with many hardships. So pioneers are kind of like people that lived a long time ago that created a country or a city. They were the first people to make something new. So, of course, if they lived a long time ago before there was houses or cars or even roads, then they would have many hardships. They would have a difficult time. Another example would be, the storm caused great hardship for the families who lost their homes. So in this example, there might have been a tornado or another storm that caused some homes to be destroyed. So of course, that would give hardship, that would give a difficult time to the people who lived in this home before. Another example would be, moving to a new country can be a hardship at first. If you move to a new country, it might be difficult because you don't know where to go, maybe you don't know the language as well, so it can be difficult. And I can say, growing up without electricity was a hardship for people a long time ago, or even for my grandparents. Maybe they didn't have any electricity. So it was a hardship. Some synonyms are burden, ordeal, and misfortune. Antonyms are ease and comfort. Have you ever faced a hardship, something difficult in your life? Our next word is haul. Haul is a verb and it means to move by pulling, dragging, or carting, sometimes in a vehicle. Or it can also be to apply force to transport something. So when you haul something, you are moving or dragging it. For example, I can say this person is hauling the table across the room. They are dragging it, they are pulling it to the other side of the room. Or here you can see this truck is hauling this other car because it was in a car accident. It's pulling it somewhere else. The example sentence says, trucks haul all kinds of goods over the nation's highways. So in this sentence, we're talking about a big truck that maybe carries something like foods to stores. So we can also say trucks are hauling instead of carrying So one of the synonyms you can see here is to carry something. Here's another example. I can say, the family hauled their things to the new house. Maybe this family moved to a new house, so they need to haul their items, all of the things that they have, to the new place. Some synonyms are lug, carry, lift, and tug. And there are no antonyms for this word. Haul can also be used as a noun, but this time it has a different meaning. Now it's the amount taken or won at one time. For example, the boat brought in a good haul of fish. So now in this sentence, haul is being used as an amount of something. So you can see here, there's some fishermen that got a lot of fish. So this amount of fish, we would call it their haul. It's the total amount of something that they took or that they won at one time. Another example would be, the pirates were excited about their haul of gold and jewels. So here, all of the gold and jewels that they found or they won, now we call it their haul. You can also use it in this way. She showed me her candy haul after trick-or-treating. So after trick-or-treating, you get a lot of candy. So the amount of candy you get is now called your haul. It's your candy haul. And you can even use it to describe something like your food after you go food shopping at a grocery store. I can say, we carried the grocery haul into the kitchen. Some synonyms are yield and catch, and there are no antonyms for this word. Our next word is humble. Humble is an adjective and it means low in rank or position, plain, not proud or grand. So basically, humble means something that is simple. It's not very huge or big. It's small, and maybe we can even describe it as modest. These are some synonyms for the word too, you can see here. For example, the family lived in a humble cottage. So here's an example of a humble cottage. It's very simple, it's not very big, it's just a small house, so we can describe it as being humble. Another example would be, she's a humble student who never shows off her high scores. Maybe this student is very smart and she always gets really high scores on her tests. Maybe she always gets 100% on all of her tests. But she is humble, so she doesn't brag. So she doesn't say, look, I got 100, or look, I got another perfect score. That would be the opposite of humble. I can also describe Superman as being humble. I can say, he's a humble hero and doesn't look for attention. So Superman always tries to hide who he is by looking like a normal person. He does not try to show off his powers and try to say that he's the best or the most amazing. So I can describe him as being humble. He is not proud or grand. Again, synonyms are modest, simple, earthy, and antonyms are bold and grand. Humble can also be used as a verb, so now it means to take away one's spirit, power, fame, or independence. This is a little bit confusing, but let's look at the examples first. What will it take to humble the proud king? So imagine that there is a king that's very proud, so he thinks that he's the best and everything that he does is amazing and he can't do anything wrong. That's what he thinks. But the people do not agree with that, so they want to humble him. Remember, it is a verb now, it's an action. They want him to realize that he's not the best and that he can make mistakes. So whenever people want to humble someone, they want to remind them that they are not the greatest and that they can make mistakes, that it's okay to make mistakes. Another example would be, losing the game humbled the team and helped them grow. Maybe this soccer team thought that they were the best team, that they were so amazing and that they can never lose. But after losing, they were humbled. They realized that they're not the best. Another example would be, the mountain's size humbled the hikers. So maybe these hikers hiked a lot of mountains and they thought that they were really good hikers, but this mountain that they went to was very high and they were humbled. They were surprised and shocked by the size of the mountain, and they realized maybe they're not as strong as they thought they were. Another example would be, the doctor was humbled by his mistake and learned to always double check what medicine he gave someone. Maybe this doctor made a mistake by giving someone the wrong medicine. Before that, he thought he was the best doctor and he can never make a mistake, but after making that mistake, he was humbled. Some synonyms are shame and embarrass. So you can imagine in all of these examples here, these people probably felt some shame and they probably felt embarrassed. And antonyms are empower and raise up. Our next word is pledge. Pledge is a verb and it means to promise. For example, newlyweds pledge to honor each other. When two people get married, they usually make a promise, so they make a pledge to be kind to each other and take care of each other. You can also pledge something like always telling the truth. You can say, he pledged to always tell the truth. That was his promise to do that. Or this boy here, I can say, he pledged to do his best every day. He made a promise to do something. So that is a pledge. Synonyms are vow, swear, and vouch. And there are no antonyms for this word. We can also use pledge as a noun, but now it means something such as money that is promised for a good cause, or a promise to fulfill an agreement. So now the meaning of pledge is something like you are promising to give money, or maybe you are promising to give time to something that is for good. For example, we gave a $10 pledge to the fund. Maybe there is a school that wants to get a new playground. So people can pledge money. They can give money so that the school can get the new playground. So I could say, they gave a pledge of money to help build the new playground. Another example would be, he made a pledge to protect the environment by recycling. So he promised to protect the environment by recycling. So now I can say that is his pledge. And I can also say, the teacher made a pledge to always be kind to her classmates. So the meaning is very similar. It's still a promise. It's just here it's being used as a verb. Someone pledged something. Whereas here it's being used as a noun. Now the pledge is the thing. It's not an action. A synonym is guarantee, and there is no antonym for this word. Our next word is sincere. Sincere is an adjective and it means without pretending, with honesty and real feeling. When someone is sincere, you can feel their real emotions or their real feelings. For example, they offered a sincere apology. When someone gives a sincere apology, you know that it is real. Apology means saying sorry. So if you have a fight with your friend and your friend just says, "Oh, sorry," it doesn't sound very sincere. It doesn't sound like they're really sorry. When someone is sincere, you can really feel. For example, they might say, "I'm so sorry, I didn't mean to hurt you." Then you can feel that they are actually really sorry. So that is sincere. People can give sincere apologies when they do something wrong. Another example would be, His thank you note was short, but very sincere. Maybe someone wrote a thank you note to you, and maybe it was a short note, but you can really feel that they wanted to say thank you. I can also describe someone as being sincere. I can say, everyone liked her because she had a very sincere smile. So when she smiles, you can tell that she's not doing a fake smile, it's a real smile. So something sincere is something that feels real. Some synonyms are genuine, true, and heartfelt. Antonyms are false and phony. Phony is like saying something is fake. Our next word is stampede. Stampede is a noun and it is a wild rush of animals or people, usually when they are frightened. For example, the flood forced a stampede of cattle to higher ground. So in this sentence, there was a flood. So water suddenly started coming to the land, and because of that flood, there was a stampede of cattle. Cattle can be animals like cows, for example. So the cattle went to higher ground to get away from the water, from the flood. And they probably had to do it very quickly, so there was a stampede. They suddenly all ran together to escape from something that was frightening them. It doesn't always have to be just when someone is frightened. It can also be an exciting thing. For example, there was a stampede towards the eggs during the Easter egg hunt. Have you ever hunted for eggs like this during Easter? So you can see these children are very excited, and when it was time to start the egg hunt, they all ran together to find the eggs. So we can say there was a stampede of children. So we were using it as a noun, but we can also use stampede as a verb, as an action. And it means to run away or cause to scatter in a wild manner, often in panic. So that is the same definition as this one, just as a verb now. And to rush forward together as a crowd. For example, the fans began to stampede toward the stage. So they are running together. Here's a lot of fans and they're all running together towards the stage, maybe to see their favorite singer. I could also say, the kids stampede down the hallway when recess begins. So when it's playtime, all of the kids run together because they're excited for recess. Another example would be, the sheep stampede when they hear the dog bark. So you can see the sheep are running around whenever they see or hear the dog, maybe because the dog scared them. So that is stampede. It's the action of running together. The synonyms are bolt and charge. Antonyms are stroll and wander. Our last word is suitable. Suitable is an adjective and it means just right or appropriate, well matched. So something that is suitable means it's correct for whatever you are doing. For example, I'm going shopping for a suitable outfit to wear. Maybe someone has to go to a fancy dinner or a dance and they need to wear something suitable like a suit. So they're going shopping for a suitable outfit, for something that is right or something that is correct. Another example would be, the book was suitable for her reading level. It means this book is correct for her level. It's not too difficult and it's not too easy. It's perfect. Or I could say, this room is suitable for a quiet study group. It's the perfect place that you can go if you want to study in a small group of people. That is suitable. Synonyms are proper, fitting, and right. Antonyms are inappropriate, mismatched, or improper. And that's all for this video. We went over the Vocabulary Workshop Level Orange Unit 1 words. Thank you so much for listening and see you next time. Bye!